What is up, y'all? Welcome back. Today we are going to be trying a bunch of new makeup. I have been getting a lot of exciting PR in the mail lately, and I've also bought a few things, and I just want to smash them all together on my face. Most of this is going to be a first impression. I don't often do that, but it all kind of came in the mail at the same time, and there's more coming that I'm really excited about too. So we're gonna be doing a lot of these. I'm just really excited that new makeup's coming out that I actually am excited about. New formulas, and honestly, I always have to, and it's, you know, pretty obvious, it's not me declaring it, but like every beginning of the year, we start to see the product that every brand has decided they're going to make one of that year, that spring. It was like bronzer, and then last year was a skin tint. This year, everybody's putting out a new concealer, and I love complexion products, so that is so great for me. That is good news. So let me share with y'all what we're going to be putting on my face today so that we can just vibe while we're actually doing it, because I took some questions on my Instagram. First of all, the About Face foundation. This is only $22, and I stopped short of watching Tom's review on this, Hope Miss Tom, because I realized I want to buy that, and I don't know what they thought of it. I don't know what anybody thinks of it yet. I wanted to make sure I preserved the integrity of my own review by not watching people's reviews, so that will be my treat when I'm done filming this, is to go and watch everyone else's reviews. Then Laura Mercier, they sent me 2 of their new Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealers. I am a little trepidatious because their Weightless Perfecting line has not impressed me thus far. Anyway, this will be a complete first impression on these. I hope these shades work. They look really light, but I think I picked them, so it's my fault. Mob Beauty keeps sending me amazing things. They sent me a bunch of eyeshadows this time. So the outer packaging shows the eyeshadow color, and we have got like blues and purples and greens. This might be wild. I have no idea, and they didn't send me this time, and I'm not saying that I'm ungrateful. This time I don't have a case for them, compact, so they're just gonna be floating wild. I'm sorry for everyone that gives anxiety to, but that's how it's going to be today. They also sent y'all, I think this is finally, if I'm not mistaken, the lip that I had a fit over when I first looked at Mob Beauty when I was talking about shopping the first Credo sale last year, the surprise one. I was like, that color is insane, but by the time I got there, it was sold out. So this is the shade M139, and it's in their Balm formula. I am really excited to put this on. I've only swatched it on my hand so far, so this could be a really bananas look. I have no idea. I don't have a new blush to use today, so I think that that's going to give me the opportunity to use the blush to maybe unite everything, because I have no idea how this eye look is going to go. But y'all, buckle in. We're on the ride together. Let's go ahead and jump in. So this is the Skin Focused Foundation. I want to see what the finish is supposed to be on this. I wonder what Halsey would have as their ideal foundation, you know? Buildable, breathable, medium coverage, delivers a long wear second skin finish. So I'm gonna go for skin finish on this one. I'm not gonna prime because I wanna see exactly what it does, but I've done my skin prep. I have my prequel on, the moisturizer, as well as the sunscreen. So let's do it. This is the component. It's a very large version of their normal component for everything else, and I think that that's really cool. Just very memorable branding. Giant doe foot. It's like the size and type of doe foot that used to be on like the Lila B lip glosses and stuff. Lip glosses? Whatever they were. I think that's an appropriate size for a foundation doe foot. So I'm just gonna do one of these. Oh, I forgot to tell you what shade I got. L2 Neutral, which I think is one neutral shade deeper than what Tom got. And Tom and I tend to be skin twins, so this will be interesting. It might be that this is a little bit too deep, and then we have those very fair concealers, and we might end up with a very high contrast look. Not me misplacing my sponge again. Are you freaking kidding me? Yes, it's inside my towel. My other one, my new one, that I got red all over from the Bully blush, my child has stolen it. Like, that's it. Oh my God, y'all. I had a friend in town. That's a great match, actually. I had a friend in town over the last few days, and she was here, you know, helping me out with Simon and everything. And we must have searched for a missing sock yesterday after his nap for so long. He came downstairs and was only wearing one sock, and I was like, where's your other sock? And he's like, it's in my room. He's got like a bear trap for a memory. Like, he's always gonna tell you where something is. But this time he just kind of didn't have a clue, and I went and tore the room apart. She went and tore the room apart, and we just couldn't find it. So this morning he walks up to me with this dinosaur toy that he has, and this dinosaur eats things, right? And you can see where I'm going with this, and it has this like slit in its belly where you can pull everything back out. I kids' toys. And he just walks up to me and goes, there's a sock in my dinosaur. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. We found the sock. So anyway, let's have a look-see here, huh? That's beautiful. The shade match is fantastic. I like that very much. It's kind of interesting how, okay, it's not like the best shade match. It's a little bit yellow. You can see a tiny bit of a line of demarcation, but like, I'm not that worried about it. You can see medium coverage, yes. I would assume it would be buildable. I think so, because it's very lightweight. It's really thin on the skin. I do not feel like it's the Glossier new stretch foundation in that sense. You know, it doesn't feel like it's just kind of heavy and soupy, like it locks on. I would hesitate to say that like combo skin could use this. It doesn't feel even like maybe, I don't know. I've never had oily skin except for like a brief moment when I was pregnant. So I can't speak for everybody, but it is a skin finish. It's not a dewy finish and it feels like it locks down. That's sophisticated. I like that a lot. And for $22, I mean, I have to admit I have high hopes. I'm rooting for her. So I think that's all I'm gonna put on for now. And that's exactly how I would prefer to wear my makeup. So let's start going in with the Laura Mercier here. And we will see if we've got any questions. I don't know if anybody's even replied yet. I kind of did it at the last second. All right, we've got a handful here. Ooh, okay, tips please. Trying to hashtag wear your clothes, but I'm stuck in a save for best mindset. I love that question. So if y'all don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know, but on my stories basically since around the end of the year when I went to visit Tom, I just started this campaign where I was frustrated by having so much beautiful stuff in my wardrobe and not wearing my favorite things. It was just like, why do I have all of this beautiful stuff that I have honestly spent a lot of money on? And like, I enjoy the hunt. I enjoy collecting really beautiful things that feel timeless to me. You know, not just accumulating them willy-nilly, but like, you know, really curating a wardrobe. And I was just wearing, you know, leggings and sweatshirts every day, or I was just wearing like the same tops over and over again because it was like, you know, what looked good on camera. But I want to combine what I have. And my sister really inspired me too, because she bought me a bunch of really cool stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have picked out for myself for Christmas, and it just kind of sparked me a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, this is the better shade. That is 0W1, and that very rosy one is 0N1. So I don't know if it's actually quote unquote neutral, but by comparison to the warm one, it's very rosy. So I'm not going to use that one today. It almost looks like a color corrector on me, but they are quite fair. And I think the finish on this is supposed to be similar to the foundation. So it's going to be a skin finish. It's not supposed to be dewy. So tips. First of all, I started pulling stuff out of my closet and I put it on this rack, which not everybody has, but like I put it front and center so that I could see the items that were kind of my favorites that don't necessarily always live right there in my short-term memory. And the visual aid, because I have no object permanence, the visual aid really helped me say, okay, I'm going to make a point of curating outfits around these things. And certain things have really become mainstays that I feel like I lean on harder than I used to. Like I have these bubble jeans, these white bubble jeans from Ghani that go with freaking everything. But it's like I had to kind of adjust my mindset to start wearing silhouettes that weren't necessarily normal for me. You know, I'm used to wearing, like I said, leggings. And so wearing something that's a little bit shapeless on top and something a little bit shapeless on the bottom, but also matching it with accessories that I felt like honestly just completed it. Because I think that when you look at an outfit and you doubt yourself, like you look at what you put together and you're like, I really thought this was gonna work in my head and it's not. Styling is everything. The people who you see pulling things off that you don't think you could pull off, it's usually jewelry, whether or not their hair is up, their makeup even, and like their shoes or like layering and stuff like that. I really feel like an outfit that's not working can be saved by accessories and become an outfit that works better than anything else. But I'm a maximalist though, so like I think of things that way. I could never dress like a minimalist, you know, where you just kind of have like one thing. Like I like to be adorned, and so that's kind of what my eye wants to go to, and so that's why I think I feel more comfortable wearing things that are very heavily accessorized. That's my I'm shocked how good this is face. I mean, we'll see about the creasing. It does seem like it kind of wants to. Like it doesn't want to like dry down immediately, but if I babysit it for the first, you know, 30 seconds, I think it's gonna be fine. But I like the coverage level on it. It's a medium coverage. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be medium coverage, but it's definitely medium coverage. And I think it's really nice. Huh, and it's not a bad shade match. I mean, you can see it is a little bit brighter than something I would typically wear. And so you do see a little bit of that grayness coming through underneath my eyes, but you know, Tom told me that they had swatched all of their foundations on their arm or something and just shocked how different they all were from each other. So there's a spectrum of things that can work for you. The only other thing that I would recommend, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put on a little bit of my Hermes Healthy Glow Mineral Powder here. It's kind of a bronzer. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on while I talk. But the only other recommendation I have, and I'll link it below, but Amy Smilovic, the owner of Tibby, she basically restarted her entire brand in 2020, just like rebooted it. It didn't die, but I mean, she was very much catering towards one audience and then decided she didn't really like the clothes that she was making and decided to totally pivot. And alongside that pivot has come this passion that she has for the clothes that she's making, and she's also paired it with content. So like her entire team, her entire team helps her get on these, well, they're Instagram lives and then they post them on YouTube. I think it's every Wednesday, every Tuesday or every Wednesday. And you know, you follow like the Tibby, T-I-B-I, and you can keep up with it, but they do styling videos like on how, basically how to dress, essentially, like how to develop your personal style. And she also came out with a book called The Creative Pragmatist. I asked for it for my birthday or for Christmas or something. My mom got it for me and it is phenomenal. It's huge. It's a coffee table book. It's got so much awesome visual stuff in it where, I mean, it's amazing. Ingrid really cites it as her way of like finding her personal style, and I totally agree. And it's not about everybody having the same personal style. It's about it being personal, which I think is awesome. I highly recommend that book. Okay, so that's a great base to start with, and that's good that it's right within my comfort zone because these eyeshadows are gonna get weird. I think that it's gonna get weird. Let me open them up and swatch them real quick. Oh my God. At least that one is a cream. Or these are all creams? I don't know, y'all. You saw what happened with the creams last time. That wasn't good. Are they all creams? Oh, one of them is a cake liner. What? They're all creams. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to pick one or two. Like, there's no way. There's no way! Ma Beauty, what a curveball. This was not what I was expecting at all. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, let's swatch them, y'all. Smoke them if you got them. Oh my gosh, they're so high pigment too. This is such a challenge. Come on. Come on. Where are we going with this? I don't think so. Y'all, this is a case of, I don't think that any of these is gonna look good on me. I'm gonna go with the green and we'll just see where we get. Okay, and then I will probably back out of it with something a lot safer, but hopefully it will lead us in a direction where it's slightly outside my comfort zone, but I still want it to look good. I am not about to just go Robin's Egg Blue all over my eyes right now. That is not a look for me. It's just not. Okay, let's take a question while I enter this gauntlet. Your skin looks amazing. Updated skincare routine, and what's your favorite noodle shape? Thank you so much. I feel like my skin looks really pigmented right now. Here we go. Here we go with the green. I'm gonna go with my finger first and then I'll go in with a brush. I have blue on my finger. That's not going to work. Blew myself. I have no plan. Just letting y'all know I have no plan. Oh my Lord in heaven. That is just not my color, is it? Good grief. So, I already forgot the question. My skincare routine, right. So y'all know I've been going on and on and on complaining about perioral dermatitis for a while because I could not get rid of it. I was honestly saved by two things, and that was Shelby Wilson talking about how Prequel helped her so much, and Prequel being so inexpensive, and also Sarah James's blog post about it on her blog Whirl, W-H-O-O-R-L. This is very mod. This is very mod at the moment, and it's making my brown eyes look strange. So, oh no, I am gonna embrace it. I'm gonna try and like stick with the greens, but I'm not sure it's gonna be this level of green. So I've been using all Prequel. I've just been using their body moisturizer as my face moisturizer. And I've been using, now that I feel like I got rid of the perioral dermatitis, because you're not supposed to like do slugging while you actually have it, I am slugging with their Rescue Balm, and I am using the Cleanser as my main cleanser. This looks bananas. But I also have been using this Muesli Rosacea mask and their cream. The thing that bugs me about these is that they just don't blend very evenly. I don't know. I'm gonna get them really, really thin because last time I feel like they kind of gummed up when I started putting powders on top. Although maybe I should just stick with liquids. I'm gonna have to really shop in my stash for a second. I started using the Muesli Rosacea cream because I did some research that basically, and I could be wrong here, but it seemed to me by the things that I was reading that rosacea and perioral dermatitis are the same thing, or very, very similar, except just in different parts of your face. And so I was like, well, this has some really potent ingredients in it. It's got niacinamide, Ivermectin, I'm just gonna trust them on that one. Sulfur, and there's sulfur in the mask as well. It kind of reddens my cheeks as I wear it. Like I know it's doing something. And metronidazole, which is the prescription, not antifungal. I mean, it is technically an antifungal or an antibiotic that you would use typically from the doctor to treat perioral dermatitis, but it's at a higher concentration than even those creams that you get from the pharmacy, which don't work for me. It's at 1.1%. And I've been using that every day because I'm paranoid, and it's been keeping the perioral dermatitis away. And it's expensive. Like that little kit, I think for the two of them was like over $100, but then the prequel is like $54 for like all 4 products that I use, something like that. So it's ridiculous, like how each one, like they're just so different. Okay, let me go shop around and see if I can find some greens that we can use here so that we're accepting the challenge, but we're making it wearable. I love a color theory challenge. Okay, I have, oh my God, under my nail is bleeding. What did I do? Ow. I pulled a bunch of things that I think are going to help, and some of them are green. So I pulled 2 of the Lisa Eldridge eyeshadows that lean green. I have Anais and Daphne. So I think it's Daphne. I think we're gonna go greener. And then I pulled 4 of the Victoria Beckham eyewear sticks because they do such a great job. And there are a couple of these that lean green. And then I also pulled out my fail safes. I pulled out Trench and Pecan, which are the ones that I lean on the most. And then the other green ones are Bottle Green, which has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it might be good for the crease still. And then I pulled Oyster because it is a pearl that I can use on the inner corner, but it does lean ever so slightly green. It's not about not being able to use things that don't go with your skin. It's just about marrying them together, and sometimes that's more of a challenge than other times. So today is a challenge. So let's take a question while I try and work through this. Oh, my favorite noodle shape. I like calamari. Like they have the texture of and like the shape of grilled calamari. I love them. Any depression coping tips? I know that it is not one size fits all, but what helps you? I actually have a list. A friend of mine helped me make a list of the things that help and the things that don't. I'm not gonna share the entire list with you because it's quite personal, but I'm gonna go ahead and start in with Bottle Green. I think that this is gonna be the make or break. Ooh, okay, I like it, I like it, I like it, let's go. So some of the things honestly that help me the most is just being with my friends. Every opportunity I get, I either visit friends or I have friends come stay with me. That's the main thing, is just not being alone. This past weekend, my friend Genevieve, who is my friend of years and years and years and years, like I think she's one of my oldest friends, we've known each other like 18 years, came and stayed with me from Thursday all the way through this morning. We both needed it. We were saving each other the entire time. By the end of it, I was just calling her my wife. She's just incredible. And like our friendship has stood the test of time. I have leaned so hard on my friends through all of my depression. It's like how you don't need to be okay in order to support someone else, basically. Like 2 people can be depressed and still be able to kind of dovetail and help each other. I can't tell you how much this hurts right now. Like this fingernail, I never realized how much I use this finger. Ow, okay. This is okay. It's going okay. Bottle Green is still so green. Ah! I'm gonna go in with some Trench up here. Try and remedy this a little bit. Not remedy, but like bring it on the rails, you know? It's about when you use something like this, you have to kind of surround it with something warm so that it still blends into your skin. I'm gonna use a bigger brush for this, for better or worse. I would say that the main thing is, you know, obviously therapy. And I know that that's not always stuff that people can afford. It's wildly expensive. I must have cut under my fingernail while I was hunting. Ow, that helped. That helped, I think. I'm trying to kind of like pep talk myself. I think it's okay. And I mean, to be honest, the main thing has been medicine also. I don't think that I mean, obviously everyone's different, like you said. It's not one size fits all, but this is Oyster, by the way. Yes. Yes, we're getting a full like mermaid eye right now. I've been, you know, tweaking my medication and talking to I've had several appointments with my doctor, which again, gets very expensive. It's for the sake of my sanity. And also, I mean, I think that talk therapy has really helped me isolate the things that are like real in terms of my depression and the things that are just physical. Like the things that I'm just getting anxiety and just this rundown depressive feeling and I want to place it on something, and that like sometimes that's just chemical and it's just physical, or it's just hormonal in my case because I crash out right around my period, and that like that doesn't necessarily need to be explained by something in your life, because I will start scuttling everything in my life because I think that it's responsible for my depression. And it's like understanding that that's not the case usually and isolating what actually is depressing you sometimes, even if it's kind of nothing, which sometimes it's nothing, sometimes it's just the weather and it's just waiting it out or whatever. It's just helped me kind of know my monster a little bit better, I guess. I'm gonna use some pecan right here in the crease, right there, just a tiny bit, just a tiny, beep, beep, boop, boop. Because yeah, depression sucks, obviously. Depression tries to take everything from you. It tries to tell you that you don't have any self-worth. It tries to tell you that you're always going to feel like this. And I think that the best way to remedy anything like that is to remind yourself in whatever way you possibly can that you're not alone. That's the key to me. Okay, and now we have, what was this one? Daphne. Nope, it's too lime. It's got too much yellow in it. This is more bluey teal for a green, and putting that on it would just completely cover it up. I think I just take a little bit more of the cream, make it the local color here, and then I will tap a little bit of glitter of some persuasion on top of it so that it sets, but I don't want to cover it completely up. You know what would actually work really well here is that turquoise from the palette I worked in yesterday. The new one from Fluorasis. Let me see. Yeah. Look at me making a teal eye work. Because this is a very translucent glitter, which is nice. Like it does have color impact, but you can really use just a tiny bit of it to set the cream. And honestly, what this is me trying to solve for an almost impossible task of trying to make something like this look right on me. I still don't think it looks great, okay? I know. And mainly because I'm not getting an opaque effect. I think that that's the main thing with these kinds of colors that are not skin native by definition. Like no one's skin is that color. No one's skin is periwinkle blue. That it has to be really opaque in order to have the right impact or look as green obviously as it does in the pan. No, I don't think that that's really working, but maybe some eyeliner will help. This is a cake liner and it's purple. No, we just have to pull it on the rails, okay? Like, we have to. So I'm gonna do my eye makeup, like my mascara and my eyeliner and stuff. I'm gonna use my basics, my mainstays, and then we're gonna strategize around blush and lip and everything like that afterwards, but I have to see this with mascara on, so bear with me. Oh no, I wanna do a green eyeliner. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, sorry, the strategy continues. This is olive and sequin green from Victoria Beckham, and I need to make a choice here. It's olive. Olive has more blue in it. Okay, now we commence with the time lapse. Go. Cautionary tale to my skin twins. Okay, that's how I can make this video useful. This is a cautionary tale. This is a big challenge for me trying to make this work. The math's not mathing, okay? Let's put the lip on and then I will figure out what I want to do with my cheeks, okay? And it might be just putting the lip color on my cheeks. Wow, for a balm, that's a lot of pigment. A fuzz, beautiful color. My lips are a wreck. Do not judge the quality of this balm on my lips. My lips are a mess. Okay, I don't hate it. I feel like I need more beige up in my eye look now as a result of that. Maybe I'll just use that one. We're going back into that palette. Hey, you know, we're wearing our clothes, but makeup wise. Hey, look at that. That looks great. Okay, okay, okay. Pull it together a little bit. Yeah, that's good. I like that. For those of you who might be new here, hi, welcome. Normally, this isn't that big of a challenge, but also my eye is very trained for color theory. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is I am analyzing for color theory to try and unify this look so that it doesn't look like all of my facial features belong in different makeup looks. I'm gonna take a little bit of the brown. I'm gonna take a little bit of the brown and I'm gonna touch it right here. There, that's a little better. I just couldn't get the color impact from the cream shadows that I really needed. And this is such a soft formula. I must have used the word soft 100 times in that video. Like, don't drink every time I say soft in that video. Okay, that's a little better. All right, now I need to pick a blush. And I mean, it needs to be beige, girl. Like, it needs to be this color of my lips. So lucky for me, I have a lot of beige blushes. Yes, this. This is Armani Luminous Silk Blush in 10. And I think it's a site exclusive. Yeah, that's perfect. It's exactly what I want. My brain is already churning on like, put that in your eye look immediately. I think that some contour is gonna help too. And then also one of my favorite tricks is, well, we'll do the contour first, but I like to use the Victoria Beckham like very, very, very light bronzer to kind of smooth out this gradient right here so that it's not so severe. So anyway, I'm taking the A507 in my Film Star Bronze and Glow, which is like years old. I should probably get a new one. She needs to make both shades in a mini because you literally, I use this thing almost every day. You don't need the full size. You only need a mini, but they only make the mini in my skin tone, which is so stupid. Contour, bring me to life. So I'm gonna use the BK by Nikki Rose brush. This is the N15 and I'm touching it in my smoky, not smoky, nope, it's a matte bronzing brick. And do you see the difference? How this looks sockety and that doesn't? Sockety, I just made that word up. But what we're doing is we're just trying to blur all the lines of demarcation here so that it doesn't look so strange, because it looks kind of strange. Y'all, I don't know. It kind of feels like it's the best I can do right now. And it's weird because the eyeshadow feels like so much of my eyelid is showing through. And it's like I couldn't get enough opacity out of that cream without it being really heavy and creasy. And so it's like I wanted to try and thin it out, but it disagrees so much with my natural undertones that it's just not a vibe. There are just colors that we can't all wear, you know? Because like, that's beautiful. Like, don't judge the lip based on everything that's adjacent to it, because this is just lovely. The lip color is lovely. I mean, honestly, you've seen it, okay? But I'm gonna slap some Space Cowboy on the top of this and save it, because we've got to pull it on the rails. I don't care what color it ends up. It just needs to not be that really icky kind of like swamp monster green on my eyes right now. I have half a mind to put Ciel de Rey all over my eyes from Surat. I'm like panicking. That might have helped. I completely covered up though the Mob Beauty eyeshadow, and it's kind of funny that they sent that to me because it was the one product in their entire line so far that I haven't loved. I said that like everything enamors me, makes me want to throw the rest of my makeup out kind of thing. And the cream shadows, I was like, eh. I wasn't just stumped by them, I was stumped by them, but not just stumped. I was also like, I don't think this is for me. So that's what we end up with. I'm not sure it's good. I'm not sure it's good, but it is there. It is finished and I'm calling it done. So I always hit stuff, especially when it's a full powder face like this with, you know, MAC Fix Plus or Fix Plus Magic Radiance in the winter. I just want to smooth everything out, but I can still speak to the finishes on everything, and I want to give y'all my initial final thoughts basically on the stuff that was new to us today. The About Face, a completely uncomplaining product. So nice. And I think that it would work on several skin types. I think that what is key here is probably getting a really, really good shade match. And I think that this is a pretty darn good shade match for me because the finish is so skin-like. You don't really want to cover your entire face in it. It feels like it wants to wear really lightly. And so I don't want to put a shellacking of it on. I really want to wear it how it feels like it's intended to. And so you don't want to have to adjust for a bad shade match with a foundation like that, you know, because it's not full coverage. So I think that a lot of the pleasingness of this was that it was a very good shade match to begin with. I like the finish of it, especially because I do tend to go for things that have a little more glow to them in their own finish. And still, this has a nice kind of satiny skin, second skin finish, like they say, but it doesn't feel mattifying or oil controlling or anything like that. It just feels like a really flexible kind of foundation. And I also love that it merely suggests coverage. On my arbitrary scale of coverage, I I'd give it a 4.5, you know, in like one layer. That's ideal for me. I want to do my coverage with concealer. I love to have my freckles and stuff show through. Oh, by the way, I never got around to that thought. I'm sorry, the ADHD took the wheel, but about my skincare routine, I feel very pigmented right now because I can't use actives. That's why. But I have started reintroducing them, and I started with the U Beauty Resurfacing fluid, I think is what it's called, because it's a very mild, like gradual, I think, lactic acid, and I'm not going in with my like big scary retinols. Just not gonna do it. Not getting any peels anytime soon. I'm just taking it slowly. So that's what we're doing. But either way, so far I'm a really big fan of this. I'm gonna continue using it, and I just also this is not me saying it's good for that price. I'm saying it's good. I think it's good so far, and also I am very pleased to be able to say it's $22. It's like the same price as the Tower 28 concealer that I always talk about being a great price, but it's an entire bottle of foundation. That's great. The Laura Mercier, I'm impressed. It reminds me a lot of the House Labs. It has that similar thing to the Tower 28 where it brightens and it's very, very flat on the skin. It's very smoothing and wears really lightly, but it does have less coverage than the Tower 28, and very similarly to the House Labs. I feel like it is a solid medium coverage concealer. I don't necessarily think you're going to get full coverage out of it, but I love how it looks. Let me see if I can get a little bit more of it on that spot right there. Little guy. I'm very pleasantly surprised because, like I said, this was not my favorite foundation release. This was not my favorite powder release. And I feel like this concealer is kind of going for redemption a little bit because it's just so lightweight. It's incredibly lightweight, and like that's a great thing to have in a concealer because it's not prone to creasing. It's very, very good. And it's not dewy. I don't even think I would say it's hydrating. It's just uncomplaining. The Mob Beauty eyeshadows, you know, I will reiterate what I just said, which is the creams were never the thing that really blew my mind in their collection. And it's a shame because it's the one thing I'm talking about today. So if it's your first time, well, the lip too, but if it's your first time hearing me talk about Mob Beauty, you might not think that I am obsessed with the rest of their line. I'm obsessed with the rest of their line. It's like the only thing that I travel with. It is like my makeup capsule, but these are just the exception. And then they had the curveball of them being really bright colors. I mean, bright colors for me. And you can see exactly what happens to me. My brain short circuits. I'm just like, that's really hard. It's just really hard. These are hard colors for me to wear. It's a very blue green, and it just doesn't really go with my coloring. Okay, that's just how it is. And that's not everybody. I do want to say that I was right about this lip because it's perfect. Like, it's perfect. The longer I look at it, the more I love it. Like, I'm head over heels in love with it. It is a really nice formula. It's balmy, but it's lightweight. It feels really like bouncy and nourishing. And again, that shade was M139. Look at it. I mean, look at it. That's all I have to say. It's so nice. It just looks great, and it's really not a My Lips But Better color. Like, as I put it on, you could see it cover my lips up, and it's a different color than my lips, but it's a perfect beige. It really reminds me of like the Armani beige blush that I used with it. It's a very akin to beige blush looking lip, and I'm always looking for something like that that doesn't look super severe. It's not really high contrast with the rest of my face, and I freaking love it, okay? I wanna wipe this eye look off and keep everything else. And again, that's not a dig on Mob, and those are for someone, they're just not for me. So yeah, I hope this was fun for y'all. This was definitely fun for me. I am just so excited to be getting back in the mud. Like, I'm so stimulated by the new ideas and the new formulas and the new colors. I'm excited about makeup again, and I love kind of mashing them all together and surprising ourselves. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, cool people, subscribe. You should subscribe if you're cool. It would be cool if you did. And I will put a video up here that I think that y'all will enjoy if you liked this one. I love y'all so very, very much. Thank you for tuning in, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.